This is going to be a little bit contentious, but actually my favorite pickle is the pickle in your cheeseburger, the dill pickle. You know where it's like siap and sour and slightly slimy. Wow, shiok. Essentially, it came from this thing that we do at Practice Tuck Shop called Pickle Pop-Ups, because we felt very strongly like people wanted to know what to do with leftover food, but they didn't really know the skills to learn how to manage it. So we thought, you know what, why don't we do some pickling? Why don't we learn about pickling? Why don't we see what kind of pickling practices are out there in Singapore that people don't talk about enough? So it started from that. But for me, it was always about research, which was through these interactions, through these encounters with all sorts of people, what are Singaporeans really thinking about when it comes to food? The set essentially is made up of a whole bunch of pickles from many different places. I'm imagining this set, right, to be what we call like a microbes hotel. So we've invited our friends who ferment to deposit their ferments for the week of the show in the set. And these are friends who are in our F&B space, friends who do a lot of fermentation in their own practices. Some of these jars will be part of the set. So this is a fruit vinegar, actually made of fruit rinds. These two are donated by our friends who make kombucha. So these are scobies. And finally, this will be something that the picklers will be making during the show. It's a quick pickle in vinegar infusion with lemon slice, wakame, as well as star anise. The first one is this idea of circularity. So really thinking about the end of life for every single thing that we put into the show. For example, seeing that it's an edible set of sorts, everything that you see on stage, we're going to have an epic cookout so that it all goes back to our bellies. But the second thing is also this idea of being multi-purpose. This is embedded throughout the entire show, whether it's in terms of, say, the video assets, like somebody is pickling, but the video is taking an image of somebody doing that, and how does that translate into part of the storytelling? In many ways, to me, it is really about situating the human in the midst of what it's like to live in the middle of a poly crisis. In this case, we've just chosen to situate it in the context of Singapore's food systems and food security. You know, we've got all these facts, we've got all these numbers, we've got what they call hard facts. Why is it that the world is still the way it is? I think what Pickle Party does is to really dive into the heart of that, which is how do these two people interact with the larger environment that is so much beyond their control and yet hold on to some semblance of care, some semblance of control. And in doing that, I think this makes for it to be a very relatable story. And secondly, it's called Pickle Party for a reason, right? So it's a party. I just want them to have a good time. Like, I just want to celebrate. I want to go a bit crazy. I want to have a bit of chaos in this space that can sometimes be a bit, I don't know, like serious. Last but not least, it's also food related. So you may or may not get to taste a part of the set.